if you look back at before the French Revolution, there were just kind of two schools of writing. One was in Germany, one was in France. So if you look at the French one, there was actually sort of a college where men would send their sons to learn to ride. They didn't really care if they rode. It wasn't really about that. It was about developing character and so forth. So in order to learn to ride, they would have to learn to dance, to write poetry. They would have to cultivate the arts. They would have to cultivate themselves, and then they could apply it to writing. But it was all very much not really about going from here to there on the horse. You can learn to go from here to there on the horse if you can drive a car, okay? But making the connection with the horse in a sensitive way is a whole different story. And that really is what this is. So that I learned to teach, one of the major ways I learned to teach is by having this dressage lesson every Sunday morning, which is horse riding, where you give the very subtle signals to the horse and you get the feedback from the horse, which is sometimes not so subtle because they're 10 times bigger than you are, and every mistake is magnified. And establishing a connection having to do with my balance because I'm sitting on the horse, so they're picking that up, having to do with the way I use my hands in terms of not pushing or pulling, but just connecting to them. So just as if I had my hands on a student, I'm not shoving the student around. I'm kind of giving little signals, and I'm modeling. Everything that you do with a horse, it's just perpendicular. It's 90 degrees out of phase, but it's the same thing you do in teaching a student, the Alexander technique, okay? So that's what we're talking about. Okay. And that's the Alexander's process.